Hi friends, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is KimCat and I'm a Darts horror game streamer over at Twitch. And today I got something super exciting for you. I am one of the official content creators for Phasmophobia, and the developer shared an exclusive look at the patch notes for tomorrow's update, Ascension. And I am so excited, so let's go over them together. So the patch notes are a work in progress. They may change slightly before the release, so things in here that we go over now should be, or could be, not should be, but could be different. But yeah, this is exciting. I am super excited for the update tomorrow. The developer said it's one of their, well, the biggest update that has come out for Phasmophobia yet. And for any of you who don't know yet when the update will drop, it's going to be tomorrow, August 17th. Yeah, at 10 a.m. UTC. But let's dive into patch notes. It's called Ascension, which is a really cool name of the update. Welcome back. We've got an update for you. It's finally here, the grand update for the new progression system and equipment tiers. Progression, a new leveling system has been added with new rates of progression, new unlocks, and a prestige system. For this system to function, all current players have been reset to Prestige 1 level 1. This way you can continue to play with your unlocked difficulties and locations. New players will start Prestige 0 and level 1. This is going to be weird if we all load in and you're level 1. It's going to feel weird, right? Everybody is trying to get to specific level for the legacy badge, which we're gonna talk about soon as well. Oh, sorry. But yeah, everybody's trying to reach the level. Let me know which level you are, by the way, and which level you wanted to reach before tomorrow, and if you think it should be doable, or it could be doable. The legacy badge, upon launching the game the first time after updating, you will be presented with a new screen to choose a unique badge with options based on your pre-updated level. Once saved, this is uneditable, so choose carefully. On the screen to my right somewhere, I've put up the graphic of all the levels and all like the options that you can reach based on the current level that you have now, or the max levels that you can reach for these. Let me know in the comments if you've reached it, and also this is maybe really cool to look at, so you can already like choose for tomorrow maybe what you want. I know I'm very indecisive though, so this is going to be the most difficult decision in the game. So tomorrow is going to be probably me staring at the thing for like an hour and be like, no, I want this, because I'm very indecisive. I will choose change my mind. But yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool. All right, equipment upgrades. Each equipment item now has 3 tiers. Tiers cost a large sum of money to unlock, but each tier will cost the same to bring into a contract. To upgrade a piece of equipment, reach the required level, go to the shop and press on an item's UI's tile on the screen, then hit upgrade. Renaming. Several names have been replaced to accommodate change for the new upgrade tiers, so that the words cover a broader spectrum. That makes sense, right? Fingerprints, the evidence, will be ultraviolet. I think a lot of these changes in the beginning will be kind of weird because you're so used to naming it a specific name, and I think I will still call the fingerprints, but I get why they would do ultraviolet or any other name in this case. So we're gonna get used to it, right? Footsteps, photos, and description will be footprints. I know that a lot of people already call this footprint, so I think this is a less weird like change. Candle will be firelight and lighter will be igniter. I will have a hard time with this to change like the wording up. Smart sticks will be incense. In this case, so many people call incense already, so that will not be that big of a deal. Camcorder is video camera. Be honest, guys. Am I the only one who already called the camcorder a video camera? Maybe not. I don't know. Glow sticks and UV torches will be UV light. Sanity pills will be sanity medication. I will still call these sanity pills. I will try to change it, but I don't know if I'll be successful at it. Head-mounted camera is headgear, and weak strong flashlight will be flashlight. The dots, we felt that dots wasn't a very interactive evidence type, so we've completely refactored it from the ground up. Instead of being a clone of the ghost that gets spawned in and revealed with dots, the following will happen. You will no longer get duplicate dots ghost or dots triggering during events, hunts, or other interactions. Does that mean they will look different every time? So cool though. Ghosts with dots evidence can now enter a short dot state where they are temporarily visible with the infrared light. During this time, they will wander towards the nearest player before disappearing if the player is in the same room. So that's so cool. And dots ghost photos now count as a normal ghost photo. Note the banshee will try to roam towards their target instead. This is really cool. I didn't know they would change this. Super excited. This is going to be really, really cool. Firelights and igniters. You can now turn off firelights by pressing the use button again while holding it. Firelights now have a duration for their effects and no longer stop the sanity drain completely, with different amounts of sanity benefits per tier. Parabolic microphone. I knew that they were going to change something, and I think it's really cool. Not a lot of people, I think, prefer the parabolic microphone over anything else. I love it with a banshee. It's my preferred item, honestly. I like getting a banshee that way instead of like evidence. I've been trying to use it more, but it can be hard to find the ghost room, for example, when only like using a paramic, right? Parabolic microphone. When using a parabolic microphone, you will now clearly hear all sounds you are aiming towards within range with all other sounds, while all other sounds will be muffled. That's really cool. Incense. The interval in which the ghost checks if an incense is active is now much smaller, making repelling the ghost much more consistent. Salt and ultraviolet. Salt will now only reveal footprints if the ghost is ultraviolet evidence. That will be so cool. That will mess so many of us up, right? This will be crazy. Footprints will now share the same chance of duration of fingerprints. I had no idea those were not the same amount. Never did I think about it, honestly. I think this is good to, like, all UV evidence, I guess, will stay for the same amount or something like that. And glow sticks can now be used again after they dim to shake and revitalize the light they produce. That's awesome. You know, when you use them at first, they're super bright, they're amazing, and then at some point they feel like they're useless and they're just tossed in a corner. Now it's really nice. You can shake them and revitalize. It's awesome. Is that because is that what you can do with real ones? I assume you can. I don't know. Thermometers and temperatures. Thermometers are now counted as a starter item alongside the other evidence items. Sorry. The cold breath effect will now show it around 4 degrees Celsius and below. You must now use a thermometer to find freezing temperatures at 0 Celsius, that's 32 Fahrenheit, or below. That's really nice, because thermometer used to be so OP, and you know, I used to always find the ghost super easily, and then at some point they kind of nerfed it. It's not as OP anymore, but it's still a very handy and preferred item, I feel, for a lot of people to find the ghost room. And in this case, if you found the ghost room, you don't really need the thermometer to find to find freezing temperatures, because the room will be showing freezing at some point. This will change it all. Like, this is really, really cool. To receive a room temperature reading, you must now hold the use button for a short period, tiers 2 and 3 only. I will forget this so many times. This will be hilarious, because you'll be like, yeah, there's no freezing, because I will not press the button or something. I will probably mess this up. Sorry, there's somebody near me that's drilling holes, and if you can hear it, I'm very sorry. Room temperatures will now be much more consistent between players. Freezing ghosts can lower the temperature to -10, non-freezing ghosts can lower it to 1 Celsius. Temperatures will now drop at 1/3 of the current speed in the if the temperature is below the minimum weather temperature. Sorry. This is really nice, by the way. The freezing ghosts can lower temperatures. They will be more consistent, because often I say it's freezing, somebody else doesn't see it on their thermometer, or vice versa, and it's ridiculous. So this is awesome. Ooh, tripods and video cameras. So my last video I did on here was the dev preview for the tripods and the video cameras in the update tomorrow. And I'm so excited for this. I think this is so amazing. So yeah, I'm just excited for the change. So the maximum reduced to 4. I guess it makes sense. We already always get 6. It's a lot. Maybe a little bit OP to get so many. Ghosts can now throw video cameras like other items. I'm most excited about this, honestly, because every time you watch like ghost hunting videos, like sometimes, and they knock over the camera or whatever, and it is something that will make this game a lot more realistic in a way as well, right? And exciting. So this is really cool. And ghosts can now rarely knock over tripods. I don't even know if they could do that now, but I think it's so cool that they sometimes can, right? All right, consumable. Some items are now consumable. This means that if you use an item marked as consumable in the shop, you will have to purchase it again when you leave. Disabling loose items in custom difficulty will not consume items. Rewards are still set to 0. So the crucifix is on all tiers, firelight and on 1 and 2, igniter all tiers, incense 1 and 2, salt all tiers, and sanity medication all tiers. This is going to be rough. We're going to forget to rebuy and restock. However, I think it's a really good change as well, because honestly, if you use the salt or the pills, you're not going to get them back unless you buy them again. Like, unless you're going to scoop up the salt from the floor, put it back in the container, you will have lost the salt. So I think it's really, really cool. Like, an extra thing that will make it a little bit more difficult or real, I guess. I know, I'm excited for this. Reward changes. Several rewards have had their values adjusted to feel more rewarding and encourage the completion of objectives, which is good, right? Some people fairly like had concerns and complaints about like, yeah, I do this, this, and this, and this, and then the reward is only this amount. Rewards for all objectives, tasks, and the weekly challenges have been increased drastically. And experience earned will now give you the same amount in dollars, and rewards for collecting the bow will no longer be affected by the reward multiplier. The training. The training mission has been replaced with a brand new experience. To access it, press the training button on the main menu. The version of training is set in a custom-built warehouse with different rooms to show the player how to use each item of evidence equipment, as well as give tips and tricks on how to play the game in a controlled environment. I have been playing Phasmophobia for over 2 years, like a month after it came out, and when I started with the training level, after like 2 minutes, I left. I didn't really do anything because I was too scared. So I never finished the training. I've never revisited the training. So, not gonna lie, I'm gonna miss Tanglewood as a training house a little bit, but I think this is better in a way that the developers probably can show off more of the equipment, more of the things that you can do in the game. So I think this is really a nice way for new players to try things out. So we will definitely be checking this out tomorrow if we can, you know? Gamepad 2.0 added gamepad UI button controls for the journal, voice recognition, text, and the main menu screen, and replaced gamepad UI navigation with a virtual on-screen cursor. Blocking players. You can now block other players. Blocking another player will keep them permanently muted until you unblock them. To block or unblock players, press the button to either side of the player card. Or the recent player page. You can also unblock players by going to the block players tab in the pause menu. This is really nice, especially if you play online with like random people. It is really helpful, or if you're streaming, it's really helpful to, in that game, mute or block the person in this case. So I think that can change a lot of like very negative, toxic situations. New, upgraded the Unity engine for many performance improvements. Swap from the forward to forward plus renderer. With this, turning on multiple lights should no longer reduce your performance drastically, which I'm very thankful for. Added a help button to the equipment to list to explain the new icons to the player. Clicking on any equipment panel in the shop or loadout pages will now open a new window displaying the new information buttons for upgrading. That's really nice. A small tier button has been added to the top left of each equipment in the item shop, which you can now click to quickly cycle through unlocked upgrades. New gameplay descriptions and lore notes have been added to all equipment, viewable on the upgrade screen. Equipment with the consumable key feature will need to be rebought after being used in a contract. You can now set a loadout to auto buy. This will refill any missing items when finishing a mission, but you only have only if you have the money to buy all the missing items. This is amazing, because how often do you forget to rebuy the things because you have to buy it yourself again. It does auto add if you have it, but if it's lost because you died or used it, it doesn't get added anymore. Added range indicators while placing to all ghostwriting books and motion sensors. I think the third tier. Added platform specific icons to the player cards and recent players page. Player voices will now be affected by audio effects such as the Sunny Meadows hallway reverb. Added gamepad UI button controls for the journal, voice recognition text, and the main menu screen. Added a fade to the VR head collision. When the game loads into a map or in the main menu, it will now always be a smooth fade for VR and non-VR. The ghost will now leave EMF when blowing out a candle. This is really nice because I never realized it didn't do that. When it blew out a candle, it didn't leave EMF, but this is really cool. Several equipment items can now be turned on and off by pressing use when aiming at them while they are placed. Do you guys remember, if you've played this game like way back, that you were able to turn on and off, for example, a spear box when it was lying on the floor with your mouse, I think left click? And now you can't do that anymore. So it's really nice to have like specific items back without having to grab them, hold them, and then use them and put them back on the floor. Not sure for what equipment this will be, but yeah. Added support for the Quest Pro and added support for the Vive Focus 3. Alright, there's some changes. The in-game voice system has been replaced with Photon Voice, which I assume is going to be better. Replaced and added several new sounds for equipment. Move the camera view for the head-mounted camera so that's easier to watch other players' view. Crucifixes will now have a 50% range per tier against demons. Incense will have an extra 50% duration per tier against Moroi. Replace gamepad UI navigation with a virtual on-screen cursor. Rebake lighting in all locations, main menu, and training. So that's going to be better lighting overall in the maps, I think. Increase the penalty for choosing a monkey paw in custom games. Ooh, that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be so chaotic. I wish to see the ghost will no longer teleport the ghost in front of you. Instead, it will reveal it where the ghost is in its current position. That's okay. Sorry, I can't speak. In its current position. That's really cool because now anywhere, doesn't matter where you are. If you ask it, it will show itself. But now it will be more challenging. Like it's a very, very awesome thing to use, but you have to be near the ghost or somebody else, I assume, for it to be useful, right? Instead of all equipment loadouts for weekly challenges to accommodate tiers, some are harder, some are easier. Reduce the chance for a ghost to interact with the door as it was overpowering other interactions. I do wonder with this one though, will it be a lot harder to get fingerprints? I wonder if it will be, you know, same amount, harder. Also, if, you know, are you guys the same as me where you're missing fingerprints on like the microwave or chairs or the pianos or whatever, you know? I want more places where it can leave fingerprints. Okay, where did we... Oh yeah, here. Move the tarot cards in a collection cabinet so you can see them all at once on all aspect ratios. Candles found inside contracts can still be lit, but are no longer grabbable and do not provide any sanity altering effects, which I guess is good, right? Because technically, you didn't really have to buy candles because they would still help with your sanity, and you know, their lighting was worse for sure, but that was it. The take of ghost photo objective will no longer count for 0-star photos. Light range has been reduced and will no longer cast shadows to save performance. The fallen candelabras will now start off and cannot be relit. Improve the performance of the fountain in Sunny Meadows. Remove distortion for VR parabolic microphone glass. Improved support for the new HTC VR headset. Replace Turkish font to make it more readable. That's good. Several candles in the Sunny Meadows chapel have been adjusted. Light range has been reduced and will no longer cast shadows to save performance. Oh yeah, and the fallen candelabras will now start off and cannot be relit. Okay, so you can light them once and then if they're done, they're done. Fixes. Players should no longer reach the maximum light count, resulting in lights not casting any visible light, e.g. basement floor being black, dots not showing on walls. The weekly timer will now display the minutes and seconds left when there are less than 24 hours left. They will now have a correct interaction rate. EMF interaction will no longer cause incorrect collision with objects. Players will no longer change their order between the lobby, truck, and journal. Never realized that was a thing, if I'm really honest. Fix the common crash with initialized VR. You can no longer repel the ghost for another player with an unlimited range, e.g. lighting a smudge in the truck. I've never done this, but I did hear people who did this, which I had no idea was still in the game. I assume that if you're near each other and then like next to each other, for example, and you smudge, it will count for both of you, right? Just not like the range it is now. They will no longer age when only a dead player is nearby. They will they will now do fewer ghost events as it ages instead of more. Yokai will now have increased hunt chance and activity for all talking players are just the host. I also didn't know that that was a thing that happened. Tanglewood Basement audio will now change at the correct position. Tanglewood Basement room bounds are now accurate. Mary will no longer count keyboards and TV remotes as light sources. I never knew that that was a thing. The ghost can no longer get stuck at the back of Woodman Game Stand. I mean, I know it's better, but it was fun, you know? It was fun. The Sunny Meadows camera icons will now show on the correct floor. The setup time will now be set to 0 after using the Ouija board. The Ghost Mist event will now move towards you instead of above. That's really cool because now it went indeed like above you and coming towards you. That's going to be really, really cool. The monkey paw can now be grabbed while the Sunny Meadow Chapel cross is on fire. Oh, it couldn't before? Oh, I guess you couldn't reach it or something? Items during contract will no longer break if you're holding an item in the main menu before loading. Numbers and player names will no longer be translated when using Arabic. Sorry. Server items will no longer push you around while held and you are crouched. Fix the crouch on low-end hardware that caused casualty settings to be set to early. Due to the new voice system, issues with distinct voice chats, voice delays, and poor voice audio quality are now significantly improved. That's really nice. The VR loading fade will be completely black. You can no longer walk through the bushes in Willow. So I guess you have to loop around it. Like, in what way? Like, through the bushes or like the path through the bushes? Hosts can no longer spawn or travel to unintended location high school. Mimics will now turn off their freezing breath if they change into a Hantu. Lighting the summoning circle will no longer turn the lights on in the room the ghosts are previously in. I didn't know that was a thing. Moonlight will no longer be visible in Sunny Meadows Basement restricted wing. And the photo camera can now be detected by the ghost during the hunt when a non-host is holding it. Sorry, that was horrible. Damn, so many things, so many exciting changes. I am 100% super excited for tomorrow. So the update will drop August 17 at 10 a.m. UTC, and I'm so stoked. Please let me know in the comments down below which thing of these patch notes of the update tomorrow you're looking most forward to. Let me know what level did you manage to reach and if that was important to you. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully you guys have a lot of fun tomorrow. Goodbye.